this NFL coaching carousel season has really been quite something. A lot of shakeup, right? And that's the word I think a lot of people are using is shakeup. Mike Tomlin is gone. John Harbaugh was gone. Sean McDermott gone. Like Kevin Stefanski gone. Just and a lot of guys that you thought were pretty secure in their jobs have now moved on to different jobs now, right? John Harbaugh now coaching the Giants. Kevin Stefanski's now in Atlanta. Apparently, Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin are both going to take the year off from coaching this year or this coming year. And we had two brand new hires. One of them was kind of uneventful, but I also think it was the right move. Like, so Joe Brady was elevated from the Bills offensive coordinator to their head coach. I kind of think he's 36 years old. I mean, he's a young guy.
Yep.
Younger than you. That's the barometer we're using, right? But I mean, you want to talk about like the potential Kyle Shanahan's, Sean McVay's, like these kind of young blueprint, innovative offensive minds. I always felt like Joe Brady was the guy next in line to be that coach. Mm-hmm. And I thought he did a wonderful job with the Bills as their offensive coordinator. Now going to upgrade to head coach. I am all for this, Josh. I think Joe Brady getting the job here is about as good as you're going to do in Buffalo.
I mean, does the guy deserve at this point to get a head coaching opportunity? Yes, he does. My question with all of it is, if you felt the Sean McDermott scheme wasn't working to get over the hump, mm-hmm. Well, someone that learned from Sean McDermott, mm-hmm. Is that the right answer, or is that just still kind of more the same? Yeah. That's where I'm going with it. And in addition with that, there was a mention earlier, I think today, where he mentioned, Joe Brady mentioned that, Keon Coleman is going to stay here. I'm very high on him, and we're going to like keep him as a Bill. And it's just like, well, your boss says otherwise. Schefter tweeted about an hour ago that Joe Brady expressed support for wide receiver Keon Coleman, stating that, and I quote, Keon Coleman is going to be a Buffalo Bill. Yeah. So you're already starting off with a disagreement of some kind behind what we just saw in that press conference a week ago, mm-hmm. and our new coach. So I'm just concerned that this is just rinse repeat for Buffalo, and it just doesn't seem like this is the step that they needed to make when you're saying we can't get over the hump. I would see Joe Brady getting the coaching job elsewhere, and then you bring in someone who has not been under that McDermott umbrella to then try to make them take that last step.
Yeah, I think really, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I like it, is I think that Joe Brady having more control in the organization is a good thing for them. I really do. I think that Sean McDermott, listen, if it were me, I wouldn't have fired Sean McDermott.
Sure.
But I think if you were going to do something like this, right, if you were going to fire Sean McDermott and you weren't going to go and grab John Harbaugh and you weren't going to go and grab Mike Tomlin or something along those lines, I think that Joe Brady is a solid pickup, because I think that Joe Brady there's an opportunity for Joe Brady to be more than what he is in a head coaching role rather than being strapped to offensive coordinator. Plus, keep in mind, I mean, he's worked up under a lot of really good people, Joe Brady, right? Joe Brady was the mastermind behind what I think could possibly be the greatest college football team of all time, with the 2019 LSU team, right? He worked under Sean Payton. Like, this guy clearly knows what he's doing. He clearly has a mind for the offensive side of the football. Now, if you want to try his hand at motivating men and implementing his own culture, his own work habits, his own, like, that's really what I think this goes beyond. I think this really this shows you what the Bills think of him as an actual leader rather than just a play caller, right? Like, that's really, I think, the big difference here. So I don't know. I'm a fan of the move. I do think that the NFL is trending towards these younger, presumably player-friendly guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is, if the Bills want to try their hand at this with this iteration, and there's obviously not a more talented quarterback that you could have at the helm than Josh Allen, then I think it's more than worth it to give it a whirl. So that's me. But let's move to Todd Monken.
You want to talk about player friendly?
Yeah. This one. This one.
Boy.
Off guard. So he spent the last 3 years as the offensive coordinator in Baltimore. He now moves to Cleveland. I didn't even think his name was on the agenda. I really didn't think that he was ever going to get an opportunity anywhere. First impression, Josh, firing Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland to hire Todd Monken.
Cleveland loves drama. Because I agree with the thought of, okay, whoever you're bringing in would probably have been a former offensive coordinator. I get that because your defense is stellar, and obviously you need another mind for the offensive side of the ball. You call up your rival and ask the coordinator, who has progressively gotten worse over the last 3 years, hey, you want to come over to us?
Right.
Meanwhile, your defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, who is loved by the team, doesn't get the opportunity. And you bring in a guy from Baltimore, and now Schwartz is furious. And now there are like trickles of rumors talking about that he might potentially just leave the team.
I always thought Jim Schwartz was a guy that would get another shot somewhere.
Right, and based on the work that he's done in Cleveland to make them, while they didn't have many wins, they were competitive in many of their games this year solely from the defense.
Yeah, right.
And he had what's going to be the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on your team.
One of the best defensive players of all time, I think.
Right. So I'm surprised, too, he hasn't ever gotten another shot. This would have made sense if they wanted to go with a defensive coordinator as the head coach. So, again, if they want to go offensive coordinator, I get them not going with Schwartz. But to go to in-division rival who has gotten worse as the years go on, who is, I think, demanding is a good word to describe him.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind. This is where I thought Joe Brady could have ended up.
Yeah. Right.
Because have that fresh mindset over there.
Listen, you said last week Sean McDermott.
Right.
Before Sean McDermott apparently was going to take the year off, you were saying, listen, that's a spot where he could land. And
if he wanted to show what he could do, because he brought Buffalo back from irrelevance and made him relevant again, maybe he tries to do it in Cleveland. Obviously, that's not happening, and I just don't get this move, and I don't get what Cleveland's trying to do. I mean, is their mindset thinking, oh, well, we saw what you are able to do with Lamar when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. Do that to Shador, or try to revitalize Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, right.
Because that's not the right strategy.
No. And here's the thing, too, is that like this is a team that needed more than anything else. They need stability.
Yeah.
You think Todd Monken is the guy to bring stability? I mean, this is like this felt like John Dorsey era Cleveland Browns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole like hard nose chewing, 7 sticks of gum at one time. Like I don't know. It just felt very. I don't know. I don't even know what to call this. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. And Todd Monken's been around for a long time. Okay. He's been coaching for a long time with no breaks. I mean, this guy has been around the block for many years. But I don't know. I will say, though, it is interesting that this is his first head coaching job in the NFL. That is crazy.
So how many years has Monken been in the league as a coordinator?
So as a coordinator, he has been – so his first NFL job as a coordinator was in 2016 in Tampa. He spent 3 years in Tampa, 1 year in Cleveland in 2019 as their offensive coordinator, then spent 3 years at Georgia, and then the last 3 years in Baltimore as their offensive.
So he went back to college as a coordinator.
As a coordinator and a quarterbacks coach for Georgia under Kirby Smart.
So if you had a run in the NFL as a coordinator and never got a shot as a head coach to the point where you went back to college but couldn't get a job as a head coach in college.
Right.
Of course it's Cleveland that thinks, okay, now he can be a coach.
There's two teams that could make that decision. The Cleveland Browns
and the New York Jets.
Oh,
well, and speaking of coaches and coordinators with the Jets, so Aaron Glenn, like from what I've heard, he just has the ability to get rid of everyone that he brought on. Is that what's happened over there?
Mm-hmm. Cleaning house. Something ain't working.
Oh, and it's not himself apparently.
Clearly, no.
It can't be him.
Listen, according to Woody Johnson, if you had a quarterback that could complete a pass, then they'd be flying high right now. There's one more that I want to bring up that we have not talked about yet, and that's Mike McCarthy. Okay.
Oh God, yes, I forgot about him.
So there's really one thing I want to say about Mike McCarthy. Oh, for all the Steeler fans that were dying to let Mike Tomlin leave, Mike McCarthy's your new head coach. Oh my goodness. What?
There was a tweet that summed this up in one sentence. Switching Mike Tomlin for Mike McCarthy was the equivalent of crapping your pants and then changing your shirt. Because that's exactly what this is.
Oh my
there is no change. It's defensive guy who's just mediocre coach, and you switch him to offensive guy who's mediocre coach and can't advance. But both are living off that one Super Bowl from over 15 years ago.
Listen, I wouldn't call Mike Tomlin a mediocre coach. I think Mike Tomlin's a very good football coach.
I'm talking about record-wise.
But you're right. And our good buddy Bryson Carver has made the concerted effort to make all the comparisons and all of that. I commend him for it. Here's the thing. Here's how I really feel about this, okay? And I can laugh all I want. And while it is funny because I have seen Mike McCarthy firsthand with the Cowboys, I have seen people crap on him. I've seen all the drama with Aaron Rodgers. I've seen all of that, okay? I think, really, and I'm not going to say that it's 100% likely, but I do think that there's a reality that we can live in where Mike McCarthy crushes in Pittsburgh. I really do believe that. There is a storybook ending to this story that exists somewhere. Okay. Hometown, right? Team he grew up watching, team he grew up a fan of. Mike McCarthy looks like a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. This, to me, has a shot at turning out very, very well for Pittsburgh. In all seriousness, all jokes aside. Now, I do think it is hysterical that the Steeler fans that were dying for change from Mike Tomlin are now running out a retread of Mike McCarthy. But I do think that there's a possibility that this could turn out to be a home run. I'm being dead serious.
Well, with that, now, do you think that Aaron Rodgers will come back now and have one more run with his old coach that he won a Super Bowl with? And even better, will he give a decision before the NFL draft?
He will not give a decision before the NFL draft. Listen, I thought there was a possibility of him coming back even without Mike McCarthy there. But no, I don't.
I hope for the Steelers' sake he does not.
But here's the thing. Like, if he doesn't, who plays quarterback for the Steelers next year?
Will Howard.
Does Will Howard start next year?
I think you drafted him to try, learn a year from Aaron Rodgers, see what he does. If he bombs, well, that means then you end up with a better draft pick and in a much deeper quarterback class next year, then you could pick someone then.
They become the Arch Manning landing spot.
Well, that depends on where they bomb, because I don't see them being the number one pick in the NFL draft. I already have a prediction.
That belongs to the New York Jets.
No. I think next year, based on the news that broke about an hour ago, or 2 hours ago, excuse me, I think that's going to the Miami Dolphins, because Dan Graziano tweeted that Nathaniel Hackett is joining Jeff Hafley's coaching staff as Miami's quarterback coach.
They really are going to assemble.
Miami is getting ready for the number one draft pick in 2027.
They will. Oh, God. They are putting together quite possibly the worst coaching staff of all time.
Right.
Now, listen, Mike McCarthy didn't hire Nathaniel Hackett.
Is that a win for the Steelers then, right?
I mean, that's like, you know, if you were curious of whether or not Aaron
I can't believe an NFL team still hired Nathaniel Hackett.
I can't believe that either. But like, Nathaniel Hackett is essentially Josh McDaniels. Like that's who he is.
The Timu Josh McDaniels, is that what he is?
Well, I mean, yeah, sort of, in a way. Josh McDaniels is a fine offensive coordinator, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But as a head coach, he has been an absolute train wreck.
Right.
Everywhere he's been.
Right.
So that's how I view it. I just view Nathaniel Hackett in a similar light than Josh McDaniels.
So I'm already in ink putting Miami Dolphins with a number one pick in the 2027 draft.
Yeah. There's still 2 open spots, by the way, Josh, for NFL head coaches.
Yes.
The Oakland Raiders, I shouldn't say the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. I can't believe it's been this many years and I still get it wrong. Las Vegas Raiders and the Arizona Cardinals still have not hired a head coach. There was apparently a report that a coach backed out of the Raider job.
Davis Webb.
It was Davis Webb.
Davis Webb. Schefter tweeted this about an hour ago. Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb is withdrawing from consideration from the Raiders head coaching job. And he previously interviewed with the Raiders, Bills, and Ravens. So he didn't get the Bills or Ravens and decided, I'm going to stick with Denver.
Wow.
So it's essentially one of those teams, the Cardinals or the Raiders, one of them is going to get Kubiak from Seattle, and the other is stuck.